Hello everyone, this is Peter Boom for Australian Motorcycle News with an update from the Catalonia MotoGP race in Barcelona. The race. First of all, sorry. Yesterday I wasn't able to make an update from what happened on Saturday. I had a long day, a travel day, so couldn't happen. Which is weird because yesterday was actually a very interesting day with not just qualifying but the sprint race. Sprint race was very entertaining. So sorry you missed it, guys. My update. So today we have to do with the race. Not very spectacular. We had 7 crashes, which is a lot more than usual. But in Barcelona that happens, and most of them are in turn 1 or turn 10. That's the thing. So I guess you guys have seen the results. So what are the outstanding things from what happened there today? I think the outstanding thing is that Mark rolled over pretty easy for his brother to win the main race. And I say easy because a little bit easy. It was clear that these two guys had a different level pace than everybody else. So they were going to win it anyway, but normally Mark wins. Mark always wins, unless there is a real problem. But not today. So clearly Alex was fast, but I think Mark didn't want to take the risk, finally, a very unmarked, but he didn't want to take extra risk. He felt he had to do a lot of risk to beat his brother here. And it also helps his brother a lot by having him winning the race and having Mark in between the others. Apparently, I mean, Alex is second in the championship and that's pretty solid. I don't think anybody else is going to challenge him for the second place, but even he has it even more solid now as it is. So that was the top 2. Not a very interesting race because like I said, they didn't really fight with each other. So then we had in the 3rd place, we had Enea Bastianini on the podium with the KTM. KTM, we get to that later, but Enea Bastianini on the podium, I didn't expect that. I didn't see that coming with the KTM because he and the KTM didn't gel at all. But somehow they gelled very well this weekend. And if the bike and the track gels with Enea Bastianini, he can be very special. That's why he was for a couple of years in the factory Ducati team. But he's Enea Bastianini, so that only happens once, twice a year, and the rest of the year he doesn't really deliver to what we all know is in it. And that's why he's also not longer in the Ducati factory team. But today was Enea's day, sliding the rear beautifully on the way to the corners and not having it snapping back quickly. So really good. Anyway, the KTMs are just there. Pedro Acosta finishing 4th. The only guy that gambled to use the soft rear tire and paid a huge price for that. I mean, his lap times were falling from a cliff. He just held on to the 4th place. That was so. The good news from the weekend. Let's immediately go to my final report. Who was up for the weekend and who was down for the weekend? Up is definitely KTM, because now they have again a KTM on the podium. Again another rider. It means different riders can be fast with the KTM, and it also means these are very different tracks. Barcelona, full difference to what we've seen at the Red Bull Ring and at the Hungaro Ring. Fast flowing, long lasting corners where you need corner speed, very little grip. So the KTM from now on have to be expected on all the tracks close to the podium, and that's something I never saw happening. When you would have asked me this beginning of the year, I would say no. KTM are in deep trouble financially, but also that affects the racing team. But they found a lot. That was really good. The disappointment from today, from this weekend, is Jorge Martin on the Aprilia, because I don't know, 12 and 10 or something, you know. So that's not really good enough. He finished 10 today and he was taken out of the race yesterday, but even he wasn't in the competitive. So all weekend, Jorge Martin didn't deliver something that the the Aprilia is capable of doing. We have Ayagura qualifying 8th, finishing 6th. That's a rookie. So the Aprilia can do it here. Historically, they are beautiful in Barcelona. But Jorge Martin somehow left it on the table, was always too late with reacting, and that's not the guy. I know you have to give him some slack. He's coming into the season, but this was a golden opportunity. So no, not really delivering enough. Same goes a little bit for Marco Bezzecchi. But I rate Marco not on the level as Jorge Martin, so my expectations are always a little bit less with him. He's on a beautiful bike, he's doing a really good season, but I expected Jorge Martin to be a little bit more special. So that was it. That was the most important thing that happened today. We had Joao Kelso qualifying very well. We had him in P7 in the race, but that's only on 0.7 from the leader, so he was in the leading group. The little bit of downside is he was the last guy in the group. And whether it's the fight for first or for 21, you have to win fights. So him finishing last in that group is not something that has to happen a lot because team managers look at it. Other than that, he had a solid weekend, so really stable, really good. Jacob Rulstone was doing a very good race, was having a really good weekend. At some point he was in P6 or 7 in the race, and then he had a DNF. This is, according to himself, the third time this year that the same sort of mechanical failure occurs on this simple Moto3 bike. So he must be pretty pissed off with that. Having to stop in the box for a technical reason is always it, but especially when you're in the leading group. So that must have hurt him a lot. Jack Miller, 12 yesterday, 14 today. It wasn't going to be easy for any Yamaha at all. So also not for him. The only Yamaha rider that was special the weekend, but he is special anyway, is of course Fabio Quartararo. Putting the thing on the front row. P2 in the sprint yesterday, P5 today in the main race. That's a lot better than the Yamaha has any right to be. So the good thing with Fabio is when he closes the visor, he always extracts 110% from what's underneath him. He's probably not the best development rider, but he feeds really good data into the team by giving so much performance with that bike. So yeah, that was also an interesting thing to see. The struggling Yamaha, the last of the inline force. Yeah, that was interesting to see. That was it for today. And in case you wonder where is Peter, what's his background? I traveled yesterday from Holland to the north of Italy. Shitty trip actually, but I'm happy here in my hotel, mountain biking in the area of the Dolomites, in the mountain, the Alp side of Italy. I'm pretty keen on mountain biking, but I live in Holland. We have very few mountains, so I can do something else with the bike here, and I'm enjoying that a lot on my way to Misano, where I will be informing you next week again from Misano. Thanks for watching.